Hi everybody, my name's Michelle and I'm Mama Loves You GB here on FlossTube, but also on Instagram and Etsy as well. Welcome to the Sunday morning briefing. It is the 19th of November and this is episode 137. That's 3 weeks in a row that I've got that information correct, so I am definitely on a roll with this. I was actually looking at the calendar and next week is going to be the last proper Sunday morning briefing before Flossmas. I know, it's come round so fast. For those of you who aren't aware, Flossmas is a slightly different way of doing a floss tube. So it's been around for several years. I think I've done it for about 3 years. And basically I do a short video every day. So maybe 10, 12 minutes, something like that. And I have a couple of advent calendars. So I've got the Roxy Floss Co advent calendar this year. I've also got the Marks and Spencer's Beauty advent calendar, which is also good fun. I may or may not have a paper one again this year because that was quite good fun last year. I've been looking for one and I haven't really found the one I want. So unless one pops up, we'll see about that one. And so yeah, I do a little 10-minute video. I try and have a freebie every day. So that's 24 because I finish on Christmas Eve. I don't do one on Christmas Day. So yeah, I try and have a freebie every day. I work my way back through my previous finishes for the year and show you all my previous finishes over the last 12 months. And we just generally have a little bit of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But today's video is definitely sponsored by Big Furry Jumpers, the fact that it's absolutely blowing a hoolie outside, and the fact that I got stung on the big toe by a wasp this morning. It's November. It's November. And this dopey big wasp had obviously come in the bathroom while I was in the bath this morning. Or yesterday. I film on, this is Saturday, okay? So I'm actually filming on Saturday morning because the light, I wasn't very happy with the light in last week's video. I thought it made it look quite grainy. Anyway, back to the wasp story. So yeah, it must have flown in while I was in the bath and there was a jumper on the floor that I'd taken off. And I went over to brush my teeth and I sort of put my toe sort of in this jumper. And all of a sudden there was this like huge pain. And I looked down and there was a massive wasp on my toe. So I obviously let out a massive squeal, resisted the temptation to brain it with some kind of like shampoo bottle or something. And Chris came running up the stairs and he was like, "Oh, been stung by a wasp, have you? Does it hurt?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it does actually. Are you going to go on about it all the time?" Because about 2 years ago, not that we hold a grudge or anything, he got stung on the ear by a solitary bee in the wood. And he went on and on about it. And he whinged and he moaned and he whinged and he moaned. Anyway, so I didn't let that go. So of course now my toe is like twice the size of a normal toe. It's throbbing, it really hurts. But I can't say anything. I can't say that that really hurts. Because, oh, you're just going on and on about it, are you? So there we go. Anyway, but it's November. It's November. So anyway, I hoofed it back out into the outside where it belongs. And we've also got a butterfly in the house at the minute as well. So something weird's happening. Anyway, I've got 2 finishes to show you. 2 finishes. One is actually a start and finish, something that I've started and finished since last week. I've worked on some other projects. I've rescued my project from my desk at school. I've got a new start. I've got quite a bit of haul. Having thought I perhaps wouldn't have any more haul, some really good things have come up. So yeah, you can't knock, can you, when there's some really good things that come up. And I've got in fact, I've got 5 giveaways to do today. 5 giveaways. So thank you very much to Keely who got in touch with me because she won the Charlie Feathers floss drops last week, the ones that need posting. I know the person who won the other one, so I don't need to post those. They will be in the post to you at the beginning of next week. I just haven't had a chance to go to the post office yet this week. Right, so let's have a look. What did I finish? My first finish was one that I should have finished a long time ago because it really didn't need much. And it is actually a freebie, so if you want to go and grab it, you can. This is by Whilst Iris Naps and it's called Let It Snow. And it's the 2021 freebie that she did. So I stitched mine on a piece of 32 count fabric that I hand dyed ages ago. I haven't dyed any fabric for ages and I really need to get to do some. And this is the front. Now I haven't done as many of the snowflakes as Christina did, and I'll tell you for why in a minute. So there is Let It Snow with some of the snowflakes in place. And I have actually done a back as well. And I didn't do the snowflakes. There's a few snowflakes to go around it. I just didn't do that. I just did the 2023. Now the reason I haven't done as many snowflakes is because when Christina finished hers, she attached some of these enamel snowflakes. Now I have some of these enamel snowflakes. I'll show you one out. They're really quite nice. As charms go, they're really quite nice. So there we are. So what I thought I'd do is I might actually put one on the front as well, rather than just on the bottom. So when I finish that off. So yeah, I just got those from eBay. If you just type in enamel snowflake charm, they'll come up. So I'm looking forward to finishing that off for Christmas. I'm not going to say which Christmas, because it would appear that something started in 2021 gets finished in 2023. So I'm imagining that the ETA of this pillow will be somewhere 2 years hence. And then last week I showed you a Silver Creek Samplers freebie called Mistletoe Kisses. And I decided I wanted to stitch this one up. So it was only a quick little stitch. So I stitched it on a piece of 32 count. It is actually a piece of vintage country mocha that has a one of those on it. Is that a scattered seeds one? I think it is. So on the bottom, on the other side, because I didn't want the vintage side, so this is, I guess, just mocha, I used sulky thread and I did the Mistletoe Kisses. So I used a slightly darker red, a green, a brown and a white. You can just pick whatever you've got to hand. But I really like sulky on 32 count, as a lot of you know. So, oh sorry, not 32, 36 count. So I'm going to finish that into a little ornament as well. She says. I've got a lot of finishing to do in not a lot of time to do it. Right, this is what was left on my desk. This is Your Goddess by Tiny Modernist. There she is. And I'm doing a sulky conversion for this one as well. Now this one is stitched on a piece of 32 count Picture This Plus Pampas. But as I find Picture This Plus quite a tight weave anyway, it kind of, the 32 count works well. Now, I am partially taking a little bit of it out and I'll explain why in a minute. So, there she is. Now that doesn't look a very green. There we go, that's a better colour for the fabric. Ooh. And there she is. Now the reason that I'm taking the moon out is because when I started stitching it, I decided that I didn't want to use a bright white, I wanted to use an off-white. And then when it came to doing her hair, I didn't really have the contrast between the sort of grey streaks, fancy having grey streaks, and the white bits. So I moved over to a bright white sulky. And so I need to just take this moon back out and put it into bright white, otherwise it'll just annoy me. So I didn't quite have as much done as I anticipated that I would be working on it this week and have most of this top half finished, but I didn't. I worked on Mistletoe Kisses and Christina's, and I had a new start, and I've worked on something else as well. So it's not quite as much done as I was hoping, but there we go. That's probably a better colour. But I really like this fabric. It's really nice. Really lovely. There we go. Oh, so bodgy. Just put that down there. I'll add that to the floor section. So the cleaning is going quite well. We've done quite a lot of tidying. I've got lots and lots of stuff sorted out for the charity shop last weekend. And we've decided today we're going to move some sofas around so that the Christmas tree, when we put it up, will fit in a little bit better. So that's where we are at the moment. And I also need to change my backdrop as well, ready for Christmas. So I need to think about how to decorate that. So this is a caterpillar cross stitch that I've had going for quite a little while. And I might have to put in I don't think I've got a cover photo, so I'll have to put in a cover photo up here. And this is stitched on a piece of fabric, blue fabric. And I was stitching on it during the week, and I honestly can't remember if it's 32 count or if it's 28 count. Let me just do a little fake iron, press it out a bit. So this is where I am. And it is actually a pale blue, so when I do the white on it, it will show up. But I do like their text designs. In terms of what I've done since I last worked on it, I kind of did some on this present, I've done some more on this here, and I've filled in the little gingerbread man. I was working on it whilst I was watching the darts at the moment. There's a Grand Slam of darts is on in Wolverhampton, so there's coverage of that in the evenings every day because it's like a week-long tournament. So quite frankly, I'm in my element, sitting, stitching and watching darts. That's pretty much a perfect evening for me. So I have also got ready the hanger for it. So I bought this, I think I bought it from Lakeside Needlecraft last year, if not the year before, because they were having a bit of a sale. I may have even bought it in January. So that's going to be the hanger for it, because one of the things that's missing, it says snowman here, but one of the things that's missing is a big snowman. So once it's finished, it'll hang on that. There we go, let's get it in the squat. There we go. So it'll hang on that. Will I get it finished this year? Maybe. Might get the stitching finished. However, my new start has pretty much stolen my heart. And you'll be pleased to know it's one of the things that I have got as a giveaway. A copy of the chart. So when we were at Stitch London, Ruthie showed me a sampler that she had, because she was asking me what I thought about it, what I thought about its origins, whether it was Scottish or Welsh or what. And when she showed it to me, I was absolutely blown away by it. It's another one of Ruthie's that I would dearly love to have had myself, but she's the queen of finding cool things. So this is Elizabeth Williamson, and there she is. That's the original. How amazing is she? Now I can see why Ruthie wasn't sure of her origins, because it actually only says EW on the sampler. I think it's down there. I think they're just at the bottom there in kind of like a fabric tone stitch. But on the back of the sampler, when she opened it, it said Elizabeth Williamson. Now, she asked me whether I thought it was Welsh or Scottish. And Ruthie, I still don't know. I still don't know. When now I'm stitching on it, I would probably tend towards Scottish, but I can see why you have thought about Welsh as well. She is, yeah, she's definitely got some characteristics of both. That kind of flat top A and the border leads me to think probably more Scottish, but I've seen similar in Welsh as well. So because there's really no other information, it's a difficult one. And actually Ruthie asked me to ask you guys if you have any information or seen anything similar that we might not be aware of. Just drop me a comment and I will pass it on to Ruthie. She showed it to Mary Jenkins, who is an expert on Welsh samplers, and Mary wasn't sure that it was Welsh. She thought it might be more Scottish, but there is, if I can show you. Oh no, she's not put it in here. She must have sent it to me as a picture. She sent me a picture of a Welsh sampler, which looks very similar. So your thoughts, let me know. What do you think? So I started her on last night on a piece of 32 count that I dyed myself. Now, when I dyed this fabric, I was trying to get almost like a dirty teacup sort of dupe. So this is where I am. And I've just put a lot of the sort of duller colours in just to try and get a... I probably will follow the border all the way around because I really like to know that the border's right before I start doing lots of the centre. So what I haven't got in place is all of these amazing kind of reds and sort of dark pinks and things like that. But I'll show you let me show you the colours. So these are the colours. Let me just, hang on, there we go, put them around. So these are the colours. Lots of these dark reds. I think that's that's 815. There's a 3777 in there. This is a 3782. And there's some nice blues as well. So I am in love with this sampler. On 32 count, it's just over 10 by 10 inches by 10 inches. So I can't wait to do some more on this one. Have I got loads of things of my own I should be stitching? Yes, I have. Am I stitching this? Yes, I am. So there we go. So this is actually one of 4 of Ruthie's giveaways. And this is Elizabeth Williamson, as we said. So if you'd like to win a copy of this for the PDF, or as a PDF, then in your comment below, if you can just put the word house, let's go for house, because that big red house is just amazing. Just amazing. Now, all of the giveaways that I'm going to talk to you about today, I am going to draw next week, being the last proper episode of the year, as I suppose. So usually I give you 2 weeks, but I'm going to do all the giveaway draws next week. Okay, so it'll be a bit of a palooza. So if you want to enter for that one, you put the comment house in your comment. Excellent English there, Michelle. Good grasp. And then hopefully next week I shall be able to show you a good bit more progress on this one. And she has also released, now I'm afraid I've only got the front covers for these because we're a little bit short on paper at the moment, bizarrely. Normally got loads. This one, which is Sarah Freebie, which is actually quite unusual in the fact that it is an original Christmas sampler. And it says on the bottom, be merry and wise. So what she's done, she'll give you the chart for the sampler and the chart for the 2 smalls as well. So if you'd like to enter for this one, let's put the word merry. Merry for that one. So we've got house and merry. We've also got, oh, I just moved them from back to front. These 2, Mr. and Mrs. Robin. How cool are these 2? I love the fact that he's got a top hat on and she's got like this little bonnet. So if you want to enter for these ones, put the word Robin. And the last one is this pillow, which is Christmas Wishes, which is, I think, a companion piece to one that she released last year. And I think it said Merry Christmas on it. So if you've already stitched that, or you want to stitch that, I think this would be a great companion piece for it. So Christmas for this one, Merry for this one, Robin for this one, and house for this one. So those are Ruthie's giveaways. Now I was also contacted by a lovely lady called Abby, and you may have spotted this rather fabulous set of floss drops when I showed you the colours for Elizabeth Williamson. And Abby is from, let me get their card, Project Stitchcraft. And she contacted me and said that she would like to send me a set of floss drops. So let's look at these. These are beautiful. They've got a fox on them. We're into foxes at the minute because Ness has been watching since the summer a fox cub, or a set of fox cubs, playing in the field. And one of them seems to have hung around and she's called it Popcorn. Now, it's a beautiful little fox. it did nick one of my sandals off the doorstep and chew it and left it in the road. I know. They're sort of like beach sandals. They were kind of like a plasticky sandal. So that's why they were stood on the doorstep. And yeah, found it in the road, chewed. I think it was the fox. So this is why we're into foxes. So these are the floss drops, and they're, let me show you the back. Beautiful pattern on the back, and space for you to write your number. And then it comes with, let me take it off of here. Lovely ring bling, thread keep ring bling, and it has a little tag on it as well. Really nice quality. I've not seen this style of cabochon tray before. It's really nice. And she also sent me the matching needle minder. Now if you would like to win a set of these, and you can be anywhere in the world, they said they'd post out to anywhere in the world, then if you want to use the code or the word FOX, then you can win a set of these. So the needle minder, the ring bling, and the floss drops with the ring. So use the word FOX. They've got lots and lots more on their Etsy shop. They are really nice, so yeah, word FOX, you can enter for one of those. As I said, I'm going to draw it next week. I'm also going to draw this one next week. This is on the previous FlossTube 136, so if you want to enter for this one, you'll have to go back. I'll tell you the keywords, Jane, so you don't have to watch all the way through, but you've got to enter on the previous one, don't enter on this one. And I will draw for this one next week as well. Willow and Brook, who have designed this, have also sent a code through for a discount from their shop on Etsy, which I'll put on the bottom below. So anybody can use that one. And then Josie. Do you know what? All the time I've been describing that, I'm thinking, what's her name? And I knew I had one in there and it wouldn't shift, and I knew it was the wrong one. Josie. There we go. So Josie sent me a code that you can all use on her Etsy shop. So I'll put that code down below, and you can go and get a copy of Jane if you don't want to, can't wait, you want to try and win it, or you want to go for one of their other samplers as well. Right, freebie. I've already shown you 2 freebies. Come on, what more do you want? Another one. Okay. This is by Heart in Hand. Oh, I didn't make a very good job of that. There we go. That is the freebie there. Do what you love. So a lovely circular finish, which I've been looking for actually, because I've got a couple more sort of jar tops that I want to do. So do what you love. And I'll put the link for that down below. It's not a very big one. It is only about, give me 43 by 44. So it's going to fit. Sorry, it's going to fit a top of a, oh, I've got hiccups now, a circular jar or kind of circular ornament. Beautiful. Now, I said I got a bit of haul. As I said, just kind of, yeah. I don't need to make excuses with you folks, do I? No. Right, let me show you what I've got. I have got a lot of threads. Now these came from, where did they come from? Peakside. They came from Peakside. Now, some of these threads are threads to finish off my like creepy carolers and haunted house, the Lola Crow stitch along that I'm currently doing at the moment. But the rest of them are for the first 2 instalments of the Cottage Garden Samplings houses. And I've also bought, because this is not my first rodeo, I have also bought already the first 2 months worth of the threads, which are the specialty threads. So I can't remember which one's which, but Ladybug is, I know, is in the first one, and then either, I think it's Plymouth Rock, with Plymouth Rock, and then I think the second month is Milady's Teal, and also flatfish, but I already had some flatfish. No, I didn't have some flatfish. I bought some flatfish. There we go. From Arts and Designs. Now, the reason that I'm saying this is not my first rodeo is because when I did the Year in the Woods a couple of years ago, you couldn't for love nor money get the specialty threads that were required for the fox and the swans. It got a little bit better as the year went on, but every time they released one, they sold out and they were really hard to get. So if you go on to, where did I find the information? Cottage Garden Samplings Instagram, I think it was, or their website, they've listed the threads that you need for the first couple. So I have stock tub. So those are the specialty threads, and those are mostly DMCs for it. So let's put those all together. I also bought this from Arts and Designs because I keep seeing this, and I know my friend Chloe is stitching it and it's lovely. Mrs. Campbell. I think I want to stitch a sampler in January like I did last year. Now, I have one or two on the go, but this one's really been calling my name because I stitched last year. In fact, it's here, let me show you. In January, I stitched this one by Brenda Gervais. And I really liked kind of just picking one thing and really focusing on it in January. So I'm looking forward to hanging that one up this year. Just leave that one. So I went for that one. I shall start gathering the threads. I'm not going to buy them all new because there's quite an extensive list. So I'll force myself to go back through my inventory for those. I bought some perforated paper. This came from Arts and Designs as well. This is for the Christmas owls. Yes, the Christmas owls. And once again, thank you so much to all of you who are buying them. They are just flying out the door, quite literally. And I'm starting to see them now appearing in people's Instagrams and on FlossTube. I was watching Amy Loves Toads earlier and she has nearly finished hers. Can I resist showing them you again? No, I can't. So here they are. Oops. See if I can remember. Margaret. Winston. Oh, he's the one I always forget. That's Clement. I'll come back to this one in a minute. Who's that? That's Liz. She's only available for 44 days. You've got to get her quick. Herbert. Stanley, and this one. He's gone. He's totally gone. I'll put his name along the bottom. Anyway, they're all in my Etsy shop, and all my Etsy stuff is still on buy two get 10% off. I got my Patchwork Rabbit fibre on a whim Fabric of the Month Club. It was a little bit late this time because they had a bit of a delay getting it in from Fibre on a Whim. So that one's called Wheat Belfast, which is a really nice colour. I was actually going to see if Elizabeth Williamson would fit on there, and it would have done, but it would have been just a bit too tight. So I grabbed that one. I also got this one from Peakside because I've been eyeing this one up for quite a while. This is Quaint Rose Needle Arts Sampler, Bird and Pincushion. So you get all of those charts in there. This big sampler, which I really love, but I also really like the sort of almost small motifs within it. This one, which is the big bird, and you also get this lovely little pincushion. It's stitched on two different fabrics, 36 count Duxbury and where is it? Seaweed. Duxbury and Seaweed. So I might have to get some of that. I also picked up this on a stash unload. Introverted but willing to discuss cross stitch, but we'll eagerly discuss everything cross stitch. So I've liked that one for a while. I don't know if I I'm introverted sometimes. I think we can all be a bit like that then. I got this one, Quaker Birds from the Mindful Needle. Again, I really like those designs which are sort of diamond shaped. And I also picked up this. Now, when I went to see Whitley Antiques, they had lots and lots of band samplers, and I've never stitched a band sampler. And I suppose I didn't realise I needed to stitch a band sampler, but I do. I need to stitch one. And so someone was selling their kit for this one, Bethia, sorry, not Bethia. And this is actually a reversible one. But it came with the DMC and the fabric, because obviously it's a long thin one, so it's a long thin piece of fabric. So I need to start that when I've got some concentration, and I probably need to put it onto a frame as well. Now, you know I stitch in hand, so putting things onto a frame is not necessarily my forte, so we'll see. Now, the other thing I bought, I'm going to show you my last bit of haul. And when we were at the Great British Sampler weekend, there were a lot of Monsieur Roulet scissors, and they were super expensive. I'm sure worth the money, but super expensive. And so I said to a lady, she was talking to me about hers because she'd got some, and I said, well, what do you do with them? They're so precious, they're so beautifully made. What do you do with them? I said, for me, they'd probably just end up down the back of the sofa, or they'd slip off the side, and I wouldn't use them. And in which case, what's the point? And she said, I keep them really, really safe, but I start every single project. The first line of thread I cut with them, the second line of thread I cut with them. And so I thought, that's kind of stuck with me. And I knew I didn't want a pair of Monsieur Roulet scissors, but I wanted to find some special ones. So I was looking on eBay and I found these. And these are a little pair of silver scissors. So the handles are solid silver and they're fully hallmarked. Is it that side it's hallmarked, or is it the other side? It's up there. There, they're fully hallmarked. And these scissors are nearly 120 years old, and they still cut absolutely beautifully, and they are in their original fitted case. So these are my scissors for starting and finishing every project, and I'm going to keep them nice and safe, and I won't let them end up down the back of the sofa. But I just like the fact that they came in this little case as well. So really, really pretty scissors. So there we go. Now, before I finish, I just want to discuss something a lot more serious. Now, obviously we're all aware of the situation going on over in Israel and Palestine and the atrocities that are happening. What I'm starting to see now is stitchers and designers coming up with charts in order to raise money for various different charities that are working in that area currently during the conflict. I've already shown you one that I've purchased before, which is from Northumberland Sampler House, and I'll put the chart up there. But Yasmine Made with Love has also designed a chart where the proceeds will go to a charity working out in that area in Israel and the Gaza Strip, and it's there. So I'm going to put the contact details for that one. If you're feeling a bit sort of helpless seeing all this on the television and just constantly worrying about the people out there, the children, then perhaps that's something that you might like to do, is to stitch or to just at least buy the chart so that the money goes to those charities. It's a way that you can kind of contribute. So I'll leave that with you. I will see you next week for the very last Sunday morning briefing of the year. Dun, dun, dun. Stay classy, stitchers.